Let's go.
Smile at your dad.
Hi there, everyone. My name is Larry. I'll be your safari driver through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. A few reminders before we get out there. I do need everybody fully seated throughout the trip. It gets bumpy, and I don't want you falling over, falling out, or getting hurt. If you have children, they're welcome to sit on your lap or even toward the outside of the row. Either way, they just have to be seated. So parents, supervise your children. Children, supervise your parents. You know how crazy your parents can get. And last but not least, as we drive through the reserve, have fun, get excited, take photos, talk to each other. Just don't try to talk to the animals. I mean, like, you can say hi and stuff to them, just don't yell, shout, whistle, make clicking, kissing, or snapping noises toward the creatures. Might seem harmless, but it's disturbing to the wildlife, and it's obnoxious.
But
I think that covers it. So, out to the right, we're getting a very clear view of an okapi. White straight legs and a velvety red-brown coat. The okapi is the only known living relative to the giraffe, and is such a shy creature, such a rare animal, that while locals have known about it for many generations, the Western world had no idea it even existed until 1901. For that year, we thought any mention of the creature was just pure myth. Now, down on our right, there's also a saddle-billed stork sitting down by the bushes. It's got black and white feathers and a long orange bill. When they're standing up, they're easily 5 feet tall. If you look closely, you'll notice it's sitting on its very long legs. There's another saddle-billed stork resting down on our left as well. The males have dark brown eyes, the females have bright yellow eyes. Now, out to our left, this small pond is what we call a watering hole. It's a great place for animals to gather and drink water. A lot of birds like to go fishing here. So we're going to try and find plenty of these little ponds throughout our safari today.
I'm glad we all get to go together, like some people have to be separated.
Now we're going to keep moving a bit deeper into the woods, keep looking for more animals here. Now out to our left, beyond the trees up there, I do see some bongo, copper-colored antelope with white stripes down their side. Bongo are called the ghosts of the forest because of how rare they are. They're mainly nocturnal. The light tan antelope back there that looks similar to the bongo, those are cratered kudu. They're one of 2 antelope here on the reserve where only males will grow horns. Now we're moving along deeper into the woods over toward the Safi River Valley. Safi River is home to an entire bloat of hippopotamus, and any habitat that can support the hippo can also support pelicans, cormorants, and crocodiles. So keep your eyes out for those as well. Especially hippos. Hippos can be a little tricky to see. They spend most of their day in and under the water to stay cool. So if we don't get a great view over here, we'll just cross the river up ahead.
What do you see, Easton? Birds? Birds everywhere.
Now, on the island to our left, I do see some pink-backed pelicans. They're the smallest pelican species. They're also the only ones known to make nests in trees. That's why even though these trees have been broken apart, the pelicans still enjoy making their nests there.
Oh, there's one. That's a big one.
There they are, see them? On the island?
They're colonial nesters. We're often out here, we usually find them in groups of anywhere from about 20 to 500 pairs of birds. As we round the corner, just keep your eyes peeled down to the left. There may very well be a few more animals down there that I might not be able to point out. Kind of a sharp turn, after all. Ooh, also down to our left, I see some Nile crocodiles. The Nile crocodile grows 15 to 20 feet in length. They live to be about 45 years old in the wild, and in captivity they can live to be over 85 years old. So these crocodiles might very well be lurking around the Safi River for the better part of a century.
They're in the ground.
Now, I love crocodiles. I find them fascinating. But they are on a short list of animals I wouldn't want to get too close
This
to.
one right here. On the grass, buddy.
So we'll leave them alone.
Oh, they're big, aren't
Let
they?
them enjoy their sunshine. We're going to keep moving. Going to leave the Safi River behind us, head out of the forest and onto the savannah. The wide open plains are home to a large variety of animals like elephants and giraffe. other large migratory herds like wildebeest, antelope, and zebra. Our wardens also reported seeing an increase in predator activity along this section of the reserve, most notably the painted dog, also called the African wild dog or the painted wolf. So if we're lucky, we might just find a few of those predators prowling about the plains. And here we are, approaching the Serengeti grasslands. They stretch for hundreds of miles and are home to millions of animals that travel across these plains every year. This right here is the wild Africa we're trying very hard to conserve. Truly one of the last wild places left on Earth. Now before we get out toward the open plains there, we're going to swing back by the edge of the woods, see what kind of animals we might find enjoying the shelter or shade the trees are providing.
Look at those big
now, out to our
horns.
right over here, I do see some Ankole cattle, red-brown cows with massive horns on their head. Horns on the Ankole cattle grow about 5 feet in length each. They're mostly hollow on the inside, not nearly as heavy as they might appear. Part of the creature's circulatory system. Hot blood goes up through the horns, cool blood will go back through the body, making sure the cattle stays cool, especially on hot days. Ah, I see a spotted hyena coming up on our left.
Hyenas, buddy,
Now, a lot of
hyenas.
people get the wrong idea about the hyena. They think of them as stupid, mangy
sit up on
poachers,
me.
but that's not true.
Come up
Not
on
only
me.
are they
Sit on
incredibly
my lap.
intelligent, they hunt more food than they scavenge. They also work together in groups.
See it right there?
They're very
Right through heaven,
interesting
right by his
predators.
head.
They're very vocal and make
See
over
it?
20 different vocalizations.
Over here, buddy.
Everything from the ghastly whoop to high-pitched cackle.
Over here, buddy.
I'm very glad we get to see a couple of these hyenas over here. But like the crocodile, not really an animal we'd want to get too close to. So off on our left, we're seeing some wildebeest. Also seeing some zebra and some
Wildebeest,
sable
buddy.
antelope. The sables are far to the left with rich brown coats and arched horns. So protective of each other, they'll drive away predators as large as lions from their homes.
Right here.
Then the wildebeest,
See it
the
right
gray antelope, they're part of some of the largest migrating herds in Africa. And the zebra, just beyond them, are Hartmann's mountain zebra. The Hartmann's mountain zebra are the least territorial zebra species. While other zebra might bite, bully, and kick animals to make them leave their territories, these ones here really don't care too much.
Oh yeah, get closer. Look. Cattle.
Look at those.
Now, coming up on our right are some Ankole cattle. One of 2 domesticated creatures here found on the reserve. They're also called Watusi cattle for the Watusi tribe that originally domesticated them. And the spotted ones are considered lucky. That cow there looks awfully sleepy.
Never mind.
But that there's big ones.
Now, out in the fields, I see a few more wildebeest as well as some giraffe.
Giraffe's coming up, buddy.
Whoa,
Giraffe.
Giraffe.
Let's come up on this side, buddy. There they are, buddy. See them?
Oh my gosh. We have to get closer.
What do you think, Evelyn?
Good.
Giraffe grow to be some of the tallest land animals alive, standing 16 to 20 feet tall.
I see.
They spend a good 20 hours a day eating. Giraffe only need maybe 30 minutes of rest a day. They don't even sleep for 30 minutes at a time. They sleep for 5 minutes, wake up, eat more food, and then go back to sleep later.
Whoa.
Cool.
And they're big.
Look at them right there. Whoa, look at them.
Look at
I see a little one too. Yeah, you're right, buddy. See the one in the trees?
All their spots might look very similar, because they are, of course, all Maasai giraffe, but none of their patterns are going to be exactly alike. It's actually how they tell each other apart, a bit like a body-length QR code.
And the giraffes eat some food.
I know.
They eat some leaves.
Have fun, Rhea? Fun, Rhea? Haven?
This is pretty cool, isn't it? The animals that your dad is looking for to see.
Now we're approaching an area I like to call Pachyderm Point because of the elephants that have been migrating through here. With any luck, we'll get to see some of those elephants, or at least find out where they're traveling next. Oh, actually, I think I see one up on top of the hill ahead of us, coming up on our right, just beyond the trees over there.
Let's see the elephant, buddy.
This is definitely a bull elephant, fully grown
Look at the
male.
elephant,
They
buddy.
tend to
See
be
back there?
solitary creatures when fully grown. I also see a mandrill
Oh my
out to our
gosh.
left, one of the biggest monkeys in the world up on the rocks.
Buddy, monkey's over
Mandrills are
here.
very social and they communicate with each other with a variety of methods. A lot of body language, few facial
They're on top
expressions.
of the rock.
In fact, they're one of
Hey
the
there.
only other
Hey there.
primates to where showing off teeth is a friendly
Hey there.
thing. Most other animals
Yes.
showing off
There you
teeth is more of a threat, less of a smile.
What? I just touched you.
Now we see that elephant up there flapping those enormous ears of his. It's actually how he stays cool. Creates an air current that goes over his ears and travels over his back. Not only cooling off the thick blood vessels in his ears, but also, well, giving him a nice cool breeze. We estimate that that can cool off an elephant's body temperature by up to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, I guess I should explain. Technically, we're not supposed to go this way. You see, the wardens claim the bridge is cursed. They say every time this march like this will drives across bridge falls apart and then reform itself to look like nothing ever happened, so it might claim another victim. But I don't believe in ghost stories, so we're gonna cross it anyway.
Me neither.
Besides, this bridge looks safe. What's the worst that could possibly happen?
Look at elephant, buddy. Look at.
Told you it was safe. Anyways. Looks like we're approaching some red clay pits. Elephants love to eat red clay. It gives them a lot of vitamins and minerals they might not get elsewhere in their diet. I'm actually seeing quite a few fresh tusk marks here, and I think I can make out some footprints leading off to the left.
Oh, a bunch of elephants over there.
Oh yeah, over there I see him.
Now, a herd of elephants is going to consist mostly of adult females and their children. They'll be led by the matriarch. She'll be the largest, oldest, and wisest of the females, who takes her family across the savannah year after year, teaching all the young elephants everything they need to know about survival,
Look at this,
where to find food, water, how to stay cool when it gets hot. Now on our right, that's a Patterson Zealand. They're among the largest antelope in Africa. A fully grown male will stand 6 feet tall at the shoulder. Now we're also getting closer to some giraffe here. They'll be up by the trees on our right.
Oh, look at that.
You see, look how close the giraffes are, buddy. Giraffe right here. See him, Evelyn?
Look at him move.
I know.
Very glad we got to get so close to them. Now ahead of us on our left, we're going to see some greater flamingos. Some of
buddy,
the
on this
biggest
side.
flamingos in the world.
Here, buddy.
If you see them with their neck on their back and a leg up in the air, that really is how they sleep. Seen with their face in the water, upside down, bobbing back and forth, that's how they filter feed for the shrimp they eat. And a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. So we're looking at a fluffy feathered flamboyance of fabulous flamingos. Now we're taking our safari toward an area that's actually one of my favorites to drive through. This is the last place I was lucky enough to see the white rhinoceros. They're large and powerful. And it looks like there's a baby rhino up here. The rhino will be coming up on our left here in just a moment. This baby rhino is about 4 or 5 months old, still very young. Now, thankfully, they feel very confident with us around them, which is one of the only reasons we get close to a mom and a baby like this. Now, rhinos in general have poor eyesight, but they have amazing hearing and a great sense of smell. So if you see them pointing their ears our direction, they're listening to us. You can see every now and then mom and Mama Rhino will point her ears towards us just to get a good idea of what we're doing, where we're headed. She's not particularly worried, but you can see Baby Rhino will more often than not have his ears pointed in front of him when he starts walking. Mostly because, well, he still doesn't know the reserve very well. Very glad to see the little baby wandering around. He's a very curious baby. Now, coming up on our left are some cheetahs. They're lying down halfway up the hill, back over by where the grass meets the dirt. Cheetahs are some of the fastest land mammals alive, sprinting at speeds of well over 60 miles an hour. But they can only hold that top speed for a couple of yards. After that, the cheetah gets awfully tired and has to cool down.
Right there. He's put his head up.
They try to hunt small prey like gazelles and warthogs, animals they know they could overpower quickly. And they try to hunt during the day so they can avoid larger, stronger predators like lions or hyenas, which might easily take the cheetah's food from them, given a chance. So a couple more cheetahs out to our left as well, back up by the tree line.
Oh, right there, buddy. See it? See the tail moving? You see it?
Oh, it's right there. It's right there. Yeah, I see it.
Good job, buddy.
They're trying to get him.
Yeah, that's what they want to do.
Now hiding in the bushes on our right is a water buck. They like to live in areas with plenty of water.
See it?
Now in front of us though, coming up on our left, is the lioness. She's up on the rocks.
Look at the lion, Easton. Up on the rocks, buddy. Up on the rocks.
Whoa.
You see it?
I see it.
You see it, Easton?
She's gonna stop.
It's behind this rock, buddy. It's behind this
I'm
little
very
circle
glad to
rock.
see the lion.
You see it up there?
Not surprised to find her relaxing though. Lions need about 20 hours a day of inactivity.
Up there, buddy? Yeah.
And here in front of us, an ostrich, one of the biggest birds in the world. They stand over 9 feet tall and can run 40 miles an hour. They're also one of the few animals out here who is tall enough to stick their face in the trunk, so please keep your hands, arms, feet, and
look at the
legs
ostrich, buddy.
inside the vehicle.
Right here. Look at the ostrich.
Whoa.
Another ostrich over here. This one's sitting down in the dirt. Some more waterbuck out there, as well as a bontebok, a small purplish brown antelope, closely related to the wildebeest.
What's a water bug?
Like a big mammal. Like a big animal. Like a big cow.
I'm gonna have to like Google that one.
Look up here.
I'm not sure
The
what
water bug.
it is. Is it alphabetical?
Now, coming up on our left, I see some warthogs over here. Warthogs grow to be some of the largest burrowing animals in Africa. They use their tusks and hooves to dig out these burrows, and should they become frightened, now back into the burrows they dig. That way, whatever's chasing them has to deal with their razor-sharp tusks first.
See any?
Where are they?
You do? I did not see it.
I see it.
You see him, buddy.
Now, there's another water buck and a bontebok off to the right
There
there.
you go. There's a water buck over there. Water buck.
Now, I know a few of you have been out here on safaris with us before, but if you were here on the reserve a little over 9 years ago, you might remember the area up ahead of us has had a very interesting history. For the longest time, we had almost daily encounters with poachers over here, who were after the elephants, big red, middle red, for their ivory tusks. Thankfully, we saved the elephants, ran the poachers away. Shortly after, we saw zebra, addax, and oryx migrating through here, but these days the most we're going to see is our warden's house. They chose to live here at the edge of the reserve as it keeps them close to anything that might need their attention. Now, up ahead of us, coming up on our left, we're going to get to see some Nigerian dwarf goats.
See the goats, buddy?
Our warden decided to raise them because they make great pets in the area. They eat a lot of underbrush that other animals avoid, and they provide nutritious milk for the village. There's also a bunch of baby goats back up by the porch.
Look at the goats.
They're very playful, love to climb up on top of things and butt heads with each other. We're very glad to have them out here, but some people see us raising these adorable goats so close to wild animals, like the lion and the rhino, and they find it a little odd, a little jarring. But this is actually a very common sight. not only here, but around the world. We humans and our domesticated friends are living closer and closer to wild animals every single day. In fact, you might remember a time you got to see some wild animals close to your own homes, like birds or critters, or maybe larger animals, depending on where you live. Well, no matter the animal, some of the best ways to help protect creatures you care about are just by learning more about them and sharing that knowledge with others. The more we understand about this wild world we inhabit, the better prepared we can be to protect it in the future. Right now, though, we are nearing the edge of the reserve, and that means we're nearing the end of our safari. I've had a wonderful time with you, and I hope you've had a wonderful time too, because here on Kilimanjaro Safaris, we like to go wild. Always feel free to visit again, though. No two safaris are ever the same. The animals make sure that. And the refrigerator can always tell you different things about these animals. Of course, my name is Larry. Asante Sana, thanks for joining me here today. Here in Harambe, we say Kwaherini, as Kwaherini means to go well. Hope you have an adventure wherever your travels take you next. Now's a great chance to check your seats, though. Please make sure you have everything and everyone you've been traveling with. Got a little bumpy out there. Don't want to leave anybody behind.